Broncos Country, what's up? Hey, we beat the Cardinals today. 38-12, it's the third stringers, but good vibes all around. I got good feelings to Buck today. I hope Johnny does as well. Sneak peek of, I guess the counterpart here on the show, but it was a good day. So I'm happy to talk about some good things, couple corrections, couple small little things, but what does it really matter at the end of the day for, third stringers, on the third preseason game? So buckle up. We're about to buck some feelings. So let's go. Dang it. Well, hey.
Wacky inflatable
No, off without a string. But hey, welcome in, beautiful boys and girls. Welcome to the Buck Your Feelings post-game show. I am your host, Jay Weaver. And obviously to my side here, we got the Mile High Viking, Johnny Bucky, my cousin, in the house. Coming in after a 38-12 romping of the Arizona Cardinals and those third stringers. How you feeling, buddy?
The Denver offense. Oh, my God, man. Look, there was some questionable moments for the offense, but come on. 5 different touchdowns by 5 different players, 377 total yards of offense, and no turnovers. What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
No turnovers? Against a pretty good, even depth-wise, Cardinals defense? What?
Mm-hmm.
I'm in a good mood. I'm feeling good right now. And like you said, it's preseason, but vibes are vibes, bro.
Correct. The only thing, and I want to get this out of the way because I want to be positive, and I want to just get this out of the way.
Step back and sing it for a vomit! Step back and sing it for a vomit!
Where is that looped? What is going on with that?
I don't know what it is. But I'm just Tamari Mathis, my boy, going down within 2 plays of this game and essentially eliminating himself from contention, obviously for the starting job, but not only that, but like I don't think he's making this roster now if he's hurt for any considerable amount of time. Really, really sad. And our boy Mundungus is quick to point that out here. Really, really sad. So that's my only big sour note right out of the gate here I wanted to get to. But I'm going to be positive from here on out, Johnny.
Yeah, well, I mean, here's the thing, and it does suck for you.
For me.
Jay.
Personally, for me.
Nobody else.
Bronco Blitz. Bronco Blitz is going to razz me up something fierce.
It sucks even worse for you than it does for Damari Mathis. So let's just go ahead and be honest.
Probably. Yep.
Probably. But no, but for real though, the real truth is, Damari, I have been shouting Riley Moss for quite some time. One moment.
Oh, there's the Nuggets legend, Copper, I would assume.
You would assume correct, but I swear he may not live much longer if he doesn't be quiet while I'm trying to podcast. Just kidding. I would never. I would never. I love my dog, and you know that. But I've been screaming for Riley Moss for this entire time. I thought he's had the edge this entire cornerback competition.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I hate it when it has to be by default. I mean, I honestly thought he had the edge anyway, but now by default, Riley Moss, I believe, will be the starting cornerback too.
And as the great Brock Osweiler said, your best ability is availability. And if he's hurt, when you get carted off the field, that's not a good sign. He's not going to be on this roster because he's not going to be available. So it's very disappointing on that front. We don't like injuries. We don't want any injuries in a game like this that doesn't matter, that doesn't count. And he was a role player, at least. I think we could all agree that if he made the roster, he's at least depth. So it sucks for him to go down.
It is. Guys, if I may real quick, Jay, if you haven't already, this is the Buck Your Feelings post-game show on the Orange and Blue Network and on the MHRT Network. So if you have not already, or it's your first time here, please, I beg of you, go over to Orange and Blue Network. Like, subscribe, share, and comment on YouTube, on X, on Facebook. Listen to our, go catch our audio podcast everywhere you find them. Then jump on over to MHRT Network. Give us a like and subscribe, a share over there on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Twitch. Please, we could use it. We love you guys, and we just want to continue to build the Orange and Blue crew because that's what we do. I'm gonna stop rhyming now. Oh yeah, there's my dog. Yeah, bark, bark, bark. Well, unfortunately, during the game, my wife had to take off for a little while, and she's literally coming back right as we're going live. So the dogs are at the door, freaking out.
That'll happen.
It happens, but I do absolutely love what we saw today, and I got something else you might love there, Jay.
That
would be for the parents out there from our merch store. Are you ready for this?
Oh
yeah. Here we go. Boom! A beautiful onesie for your baby.
Oh my God!
As with the long sleeves, getting ready to go into fall. Keep your baby comfortable. Keep your baby somewhat, warm as the nights get a little chillier, and keep them in style. Doing it, rocking Orange and Blue Network logos and attire. It is beautiful stuff, and I think you'll like it. So click the link below and get you some merch.
Might as well,
please. You got to do it, man.
Thank you very much.
And of course, absolutely. And of course, we would be remiss, Jay. We have to, shout out our sponsors. Today's show sponsored by Dubby Jitterless Energy Blend. Dubby comes in a multitude of delicious flavors. 2 cups of coffee worth of caffeine, Jay, per every single cup. And it comes in so many awesome flavors. Jay's got is that the Galaxy Grenade right there, Jay?
It is.
Yeah. Jay's sitting there rocking the tub of Galaxy Grenade. And right now, you can see it in the bottom corner down there, 10% off. And that's even before you apply our special that we're going to give you here in a minute. Before you do that, check it out. Dubby has no calories. It has no sugar. It has no maltodextrin, no fillers, no artificial colors. It is all natural and containing only B vitamins, amino acids, and nootropics, including the patented neurofactor nootropic to keep you sharp throughout your day. All right, and the best part is because there's no sugar in it, it is absolutely no jitters and no crash later. Ooh. So, guys, I'm telling you, this stuff is the business. It's the shit, and you will love it. Please go on over to Dubby, get yourself the dub. And at the checkout, make sure you punch in code NRWOB10. That's NRWOB10 to get yourself an additional 10% off your order on top of their already existing 10% because their warehouse is so full right now. They gotta unload some stock.
See, and Johnny, Notre Dame is here. We didn't even predict this, but the 10 also represents Bo Nix the future.
You're damn right. You damn right. So hey, click the link in the bio below. Go over to w.gg and just for Mundungus, because apparently he really loves it when I say it. Teach me how to dubby. Teach me how to dubby.
Absolutely.
I love it. That's
Get the
right.
dub.
All right. Get the dub. Now, Jay, it's the floor is yours. I just wanted to get our housekeeping.
Absolutely. We got our things in order here. We also got our friends in the chat. Our boy Kevin Zano is here, and that is a fresh profile pic there, Zano. I don't know if I've seen that. But I like that a lot. Very nice hat there.
Super fresh.
He's talking about Zach Wilson, and I'm sure that'll kind of be where our conversation starts, is that quarterback room, because I think some interesting things were shown by not showing in this game. But I also want to throw out, gotta love Mr. Keith Brugman himself.
Keith Brugman.
Love him, man. Love his show.
Uh-oh. Oh, no. Jay, you've become Isaiah. What's going on? Come back.
Just like that. We teleported back in.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay, Keith Brugman, love his show. Good dude. And thank you for joining us, Keith. While you're talking, I got to pour me some victory whiskey.
Oh, yeah, there you go. I mean, hey, 38-12, winning in different ways. You got to get some whiskey on that, even if it doesn't really count, but vibes count. And speaking of vibes, I had mixed vibes from the quarterback decision this game into I had on my depth chart on the Nothing Rhymes podcast that I thought we were going to carry the three quarterbacks, but I thought, I almost said Russell Wilson, but I just kind of thought Zach Wilson would be number 2, and I thought he would step up. And some people would say he looked very good today, and I would agree, but we have to think about competition, number 1. But I also saw some real boneheaded things out of Zach Wilson.
Oh, yeah. I kept saying it.
Extremely concerning.
The whole game,
Extremely. But I think it is a very telling thing that we only saw Jared Stidham for what, like a series? Is that it?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So Jared Stidham's number 2. I don't know if that's news to some people. It's kind of news to me.
Hey, you know what? I might disagree with you on that.
Ooh, I don't know. What do you see it as?
Are you ready?
What do you look at?
See, one thing I will say about Mr. Sean Payton is that he does things very differently from anybody else.
True.
And while we might see most coaches say, in the third game after they name their starter, sit their number 2 after only one series, and then put in their third to run the rest of the game, I'm almost thinking that Sean Payton is going to name Zach Wilson number 2, and he just wanted him to get out there and get more confidence and get more and get more ready for the season. I really do. I like Jared Stidham. And right now, Zach Wilson, he's done. You did a good job, kid. You did a good job. There were boneheaded mistakes, and those are things that can be coached out of him. He's a work in progress, but I think my tune has changed because I was with you. I was on the Jared Stidham number 2 bandwagon up to this point. After today's game, I'm actually starting to think it's a little bit of the opposite.
See, I think it's a false prophet. And I say this because he was over the top giving Zach Wilson compliments all week here in practice, saying, I've never seen Zach Wilson any better than what he just had this week. Like, he's playing out of his mind, and giving him the stage today to really, flex it on some of these scrubs that, like you said, what did you say in pregame? They were going to be selling cell phone plans here in the next week.
I said insurance, but sure.
Insurance, but yeah. Kiosks at the mall, nevertheless. But I don't know. I kind of feel like it's plumping him up to see if there's any trade value in him because he's a number 2 overall pick. I think if it were a bit opposite and we would have been highlighting Stidham to look really good because he's looked really bad thus far, stats-wise in the preseason, then I would get behind that a little bit more. But, like, he's good with what Stidham shows because he didn't get an opportunity today, which he should have, I really thought, as bad as he played thus far in the preseason. So, I don't know, man.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see what happens. I also said on Nothing Rhymes earlier in the week that I predicted that we would possibly be dangling Zach Wilson as trade bait. And that may have been what they were attempting to do. I don't know. At this point, it could be either guy. It really could. But who knows?
Keith comes back in here. He says he cannot be quarterback 2. My goodness, bad decisions, almost interceptions, taking hits unnecessarily. And Keith, in my heart of hearts, I really wanted Zach Wilson to work out. I wanted, I'm in the camp of I want Zach Wilson to show up.
Well, first of all, he's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere.
I still think we carry 3 quarterbacks, 100%. I don't think this changes really a whole lot. I think it's just the slotting of where they are in the depth chart. But it was mixed bag for me today, at least. So then we got Mark from GA. I'm assuming Georgia.
Mark from Georgia.
Man,
I have not seen that name in about at least 2 years since our last stint on the MHRT network. So it's good to see you, Mark. It has been a minute, and I'm glad to see you. Wow. Here's to you, bud. Here's to you.
Yep.
Not a new name, but it's been a while. So
drink to that. Absolutely.
I want to bring it. I just want to bring up, while we're talking about, my dog barking up a storm a moment ago. Keith says he thinks that my dog is on Dubby. I think after the show, I am going to go check my tub and make sure that it didn't get knocked down on the floor and ripped into.
He's taking lines.
Douglas says, pretty sure I just heard that dog say, bark, bark, motherfucker.
Could have been.
Fun stuff. So, I mean, I don't know. I guess we'll see. We'll know. We will know within about probably the next 24 to 36 hours. I mean,
I'm gonna throw another name up here. We got D-Rock in the house as well. Want to make sure we recognize him. He is a frequent flyer around these parts. He says, boy, that D-line. And a quick shout out. Congratulations, D-line, for getting his merch of all of the all-city cities. His merch is now in every single Dick's nationwide.
City in Dick's?
That's solid stuff from where he's come from. Selling T-shirts out of the back of his car.
He's got his shit at Dick's Sporting Goods, you mean?
Dick's Sporting Goods everywhere in the nation.
Shit. Wow.
Yep.
I'm gonna have to call him. I'm gonna call D-Line and congratulate him.
I'm very happy for him.
Good friend of the show and a good dude. The guy who holds my dog after Nuggets games on his podcast.
Absolutely. We got another new name in here, and it looks like a troll. It smells like a troll, and it sounds like a troll. But hey, we love trolls around here. Virginia Hernandez. Broncos won the preseason Super Bowl. Congrats. And she follows it up with Chiefs. So
okay. Hey, you know what? Look, we have fans in this chat from all over the NFL. We have Raiders fans. We have Seahawks fans. We have Colts fans. We have a fan from the Atlanta Falcons.
We do.
Not even a divisional.
Johnny, we don't run away from the trolls like Rashid Rice.
Absolutely
right?
not.
We don't run away.
We love it. Bring it on. We love to talk. We love to talk to everybody, regardless of their fandom.
Absolutely.
My wife is being evil, and she's looking at me right now saying, "Go Chiefs, don't you say it. Don't you dare say it on my show. Walk away."
Friends.
Blasphemy.
But no, her father was a Chiefs fan, so she loves to mess with me with that.
Understandable. Understandable.
But anyway, Virginia, we thank you. Welcome to the show. I did not give you a toast. I give a toast to every new name we see. So
absolutely.
You mean chef? Mark from Georgia says you mean chefs. Y'all been cooking some bad this off season. I mean, hey, we'll see. Look. She says, "Hello, Kingdom." No. I will. I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. Hollering out on the show there, Virginia. But this is Broncos country. Sorry, but this is not.
It's on my shirt. Okay, it's on my shirt. Can't be allowed.
But anyway, like I've seen some good things. I'm excited about the season quarterback wise. But can we talk about our defense?
Yeah.
I mean, our defense is looking better than they have in a very long time. And I'm not just saying I'm not just talking about, yes, I'm talking about second and third stringers. But look, that gives me hope for our depth. Because if these guys are not our starters, I don't know. What do you feel, Jay?
So far, I'm convinced if we start him every game, he's going to have a turnover a game. Mr. Keydron Smith, always around the ball, getting an interception,
Everywhere.
getting a fumble recovery. He's everywhere, man. I love that guy to death.
Every time.
He was on my 53. I guarantee that's a guarantee right here. He's going to be on the 53. It's
guaranteed now. If there was any question going into this game whether he would be the 53, he'd be on the 53. It's put to bed now.
I would say so.
But seriously, just 2 weeks ago, when we first, all of us like, who is this? Who the fuck is this guy? Now we've seen him. I mean, and he's gonna make some waves. He may not be a starter for Broncos Country, but I mean, dude, he's everywhere, and he could move up. He could move up. He's so good.
And on the flip side of that same turnover, Justin Strnad with a game. That is honestly the first Justin Strnad game that I can think of that, wow, you made an impact on multiple levels and multiple facets of the defense. Fantastic game for Justin Strnad as well.
Absolutely. I mean, definitely a round of applause.
Absolutely.
I mean, he was laying blocks left and right. I mean, he and on that return, but then he was absolutely he was menacing to in the run game and everywhere else. And I mean, it was a good showing by our defense. It shows that Vance Joseph in a repeat, now with repeat players and a repeat system that is his system and not some Fangio bullshit holdover. It's showing that we're on our way. Our defense is on its way, and it feels good to feel that.
Yeah, it really does. And then I guess Mundungus brings up the other guy that had some wow factor today.
Yeah, Jordan Jacobs.
Jordan Jacobs with he's got to get a game ball as well.
Yeah. Now, I mean, look, that hit. I mean, he literally knocked. He knocked what's his name? Whose helmet?
Tate?
Yeah. I mean, anyway, he laid him out, dude. I'm gonna have to go back. I'm gonna watch film as I always do. But he was just hitting he was firing on all cylinders.
I was actually honestly kind of surprised that not Tate, Toon. But I was kind of surprised Desmond Ridder didn't look better than what he was. I mean, he was a starting quarterback last year. And he wasn't great on the Arizona side of life. So
yeah, it was the hit on Desmond Ridder. I couldn't remember if it was Toon or Ridder, but it was Ridder. Keith coming in. Am I down with VJ? Because there's a lot of hate heading into the season for our defensive coordinator here in Broncos Country. You know what? I am. I am down with VJ. I think the big problem with Broncos Country is our memory is long right now, especially when it comes to the last decade, almost decade. And unfortunately, nobody seems to be able to get past the abomination that was his head coaching career in Denver. And while I look back with just nauseous feelings at that time of his, when he's the head coach,
he was a puppet.
He was as a DC. As a DC, it's different. And the last season started off very badly defensively. The Miami game was an absolute, again, abomination. That's the only word I can use for it.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you even heard Jason McCourty talk about it during the game on the commentary, saying the second half of the season, though, they got things figured out and they became a top 10 defense through that time.
Yeah.
And that's continuing now. I see no reason to move on from Vance Joseph right now. I think that is that right now the Broncos now in a repeat year with him, with his system, we can continue that onslaught.
Our defensive stats weren't that bad last year, and if you take out the outlier game of the Miami game last year, I mean, our defense performed extremely well. So we should
not in the
have
first 6 games.
high confidence about this defense.
In the first 6 games of the season, it left a lot to be desired. But that was because they were still figuring shit out, and they're past that now.
Yeah.
And so
I want to bring up
Undungus says it right here. Only people that don't know ball hate VJ.
Can't hate VJ that bad. He's Colorado Buffalo.
Yes.
Let's go.
Yes. Hey Jay, can I ask? Obviously your show, you're the driver, but can I ask for a segment on today's post game?
Oh sure.
Can we do? Because Mr. Keith Brugman here has literally just opened up, left us open with a comment for our perfect new segment. The phrase is incomplete.
I can get down with that.
I love that. I love hearing it. Oh, there's nothing like hearing that phrase in Broncos country. Okay. Keith Brugman brings out his own, without even meaning to. I doubt he even meant to do this, but he pushed us into it, so we're doing it, Jay. Check it out. Keith Brugman with his own, the phrase is incomplete with cornerback 2 opposite PS2 is blank. Finish the incomplete phrase.
It's got to be Riley Moss. He's been the guy that's been held back, and what you don't see in the preseason shows you what you need to know about the regular season. And he's been kind of protected from a playing time standpoint. Obviously not to the extent as PS2, but like he's going to be a starter. And the only like little screw in that, I would say, is that Levi Wallace is hurt and has been hurt, but he's the vet that was brought in to be the stabilizer on the opposite side of the field as PS2. So I wouldn't be that surprised if Wallace gets
played
back
today, and he had some good coverage, and he had a great tackle.
I could see Wallace actually winning that job with Riley Moss being a good interchange.
A nice rotational kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I've got to, if I'm completing the sentence right now, as of this moment, right now, with Levi Wallace still kind of nursing himself back, starting cornerback 2, week 1 is Riley Moss.
Yep.
So.
Iowa's own.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, corn-fed farm boys. I'm telling you, man. Corn-fed farm boys. Yes, sir, Bob. Wow, our grandfather used to spout that constantly. I love it. Let's see. Mark says, in order for Riley Moss to seal the deal, he needs an interception.
He will. That's his MO. He is a ball hawk. When he was at Iowa, him and Cooper DeJean were like ridiculous athletes on the outside perimeters that would take a little bit, probably more chances than they needed to. But that was the style of defense Iowa runs because their offense is god awful and they have to have turnovers to win games. So we're going to see that out of Riley Moss. That's why we drafted him. So
it will happen. It will happen. It'll happen. Don't worry. Jay, do you have an incomplete phrase you want to throw forward or do you want to move on? Because I honestly only did that because Keith set us up.
So, I mean, Keith is kind of setting me up for my next one. Thank you very much, Keith, for producing this show thus far. But he also says he loves Zach Wilson coming out. Would you give up? What would you give up in a trade for Zach Wilson if we didn't have him? A 6th-round pick, or when you package Zach Wilson in a 7th? I'm way less bullish on him than I was. He had some highlights in this game, but his lowlights are what is really troublesome. The fumble that he had and some of just the jerkiness of him in a pocket really just scares the hell out of me.
Here's the thing. I'm thinking bonehead plays from Riley Moss. Or not from Riley Moss. Good God. Wow, from Zach Wilson in this game. I kept saying it, like, that was boneheaded. Why did you allow yourself to get sacked there? Why?
Yeah.
Why did that happen? It shouldn't have happened, but it did. But the one that keeps like gnawing behind my left eyeball, like hang on my optic nerve, and I just can't unsee it, is two separate occasions where there was a defender flying into his face, and rather than try to turn and run or throw the ball away, he tried to like underhand pass past him right into his chest. And I was like, what on God's green earth compelled you to think that that was a good idea at that moment?
Yeah.
I don't see it. I mean, I'm not down there on the field with that guy right in my face, but why did you try to pass under his armpit? Who does that?
Yeah,
Nobody
dude,
does
that play
Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes doesn't do that.
Threw him right into his numbers. Like, it wasn't even a clever, like, it wasn't clever at all.
The fact that the dude didn't intercept it is shocking.
Correct.
And I'm sitting there going, why? Why? What the?
So anyway. my incomplete would be Zach Wilson has blank trade value.
Ooh. Minor.
Yeah.
Minor trade value at this point. Because here's the thing. He did, like you said, he had some highlights, but he had quite a few lowlights too. And the rest of the league is going to see both. And while the rest of the league is kind of quarterback hungry right now, I don't think they're going to be like, Zach Wilson was trying to do the Mahomes sidearm pass. Look, dude, you're not Patrick Mahomes. Hell, you're not even a starting quarterback in this league right now. Stop trying to do the fancy shit because it's not working.
Yep.
But like, that's the thing. The rest of the league is going to see both those highlights, and then they're going to be like, ooh, intriguing. But then they're going to see those lowlights too and be like, but, I mean, like, and anything that you can put but before turns out to be a bad thing. Always.
It's true.
He looked good. But that but right there means very, very little. He's going to be worth very little to anybody right now. Now, which is why you keep it. He's the Sean Payton reclamation project. Sean Payton swears up and down, I can fix this kid. And if he does, hell, that kid could compete for a starting job in the future. Dangle him as trade bait then. But the fact is, right now, it's not worth much after what we just saw.
I would agree. D-Rock in the comments saying Tillman has to make this team. And Keith kind of follows that up with, is he going to be on the 53 or is he going to be a practice squatter? I had him off the 53. I think he's performed really well. I see 6 tackles, 4 solo. But he had 2 passes broken up or pass defended. He played really well, and he has all preseason. But when you compare that to a Kadron Smith, who's actually made the like wave plays, that's when a fringe player can make the 53. It's not just being like a notable player in preseason. When you're the ill of an undrafted player, you have to be above and beyond to make the 53. So I doubt he makes the 53.
I do too, unfortunately, and I also believe, based on his performance, he would be a loss on the practice squad for us if we cut him, because I believe somebody with a waiver claim is going to grab him. They need pass rush help. The whole league needs pass rush help. And dude, and at the same time, we've seen he gets them big old mitts up there like good old Shelby Harris used to do, and just knocks these balls down. And that is a valuable trait.
It's true.
He won't stay on the practice squad if we put him there.
Yeah. But, at the end of the day, every single team in the NFL has a guy like that in the preseason that's a fringe player that they're going to put on practice squad, and someone steals him, but maybe you go steal someone else's Tillman of their team. Like, that's kind of an interchangeable pop player in my eyes. That's not like we have to have him on 53 to, like, secure him and protect.
Mundungus brings up a great point here. He says, to be fair, the O-line really let Wilson down. A couple sacks he took, he just had no other option. He couldn't step out or roll out. I'm glad he fixed his throw it up to avoid the sack mindset.
Not wrong. Not wrong.
Not wrong. And then our good friend Mark, he caveats on that. He says, I agree.
Dude, Crumb sucks.
Dude, who the fuck? Why is this guy on this team?
He's
rid of him. Bye.
Yeah.
Later, you are definitely not making the 53 or the practice squad.
He's like one of those Madden glitches that, like, you hype the ball and the offensive lineman just starts darting to the sideline for no reason.
Or freezes in place.
Just, what are you doing, dude?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how you get deer in the headlights in that moment, but that's him. Oh, shit. He got past me. Sorry, Zach. I'll try better next time. Dude. Like, I'm done. I don't want him. I know that offensive line depth is important. Sorry, buddy. Our depth is not worth you. Or you are not worth our depth. However you want to look at it.
I'll go claim some other offensive lineman on some other practice squad before I'm keeping him anywhere near my practice squad.
How did I know? Based on that name that Mundungus was going to make a Harry Potter reference? I was waiting for it.
So I wish I knew what he was talking about, but I've never seen a lick of Harry Potter. I know nothing about Harry Potter.
How are we cousins? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Forget about it.
Forget about it. Anyway. All right. Ooh, Keith's got another incomplete phrase for us. He's just keeping it rolling.
Man.
We might just need to create a whole brand new show called The Phrases Incomplete.
The Keith segment.
But we can't do that because we've already got on MHRT Network, we already have the Incomplete podcast. So we can't really do that. But Keith comes in incomplete. The starting offensive lineman with the most to prove game one is. Oh, that's easy. That's absolutely easy. It's going to be Luke Wattenberg.
Yeah. Yeah, you're probably right.
That one like that. It's Luke Wattenberg.
You're probably right.
Alex Forsythe lost the job tonight. There's no chance Alex Forsythe is even still remotely in the conversation to be the starting center. It's over.
Yeah.
Yes, you didn't get it done, bud. I mean, he got blown up several times. His run blocking left something to be desired. I'm out on Alex Forsythe being the starter. Now, in the future,
but I will say,
sure.
He's been the best out of the depth. The overall depth has been terrible, but he's the best of the bunch.
But he's not the starter. But he's not.
No, definitely not. Yeah.
So yeah, no, he's the one with the most to prove because all the other four starters on the offensive line are proven commodities.
Well,
Mike McGlinchey, Ben Powers, Quinn Miners,
I'm going to take a different slice of that, though, Johnny. Mr. Garrett Bowles has a lot to prove because he's in a contract year, and we don't know
what you say. That's a friend of the show.
I know. I'm also the person that was a little critical of Justin Simmons. I'm just that guy. Great guy, but at the end of the day, like, he's on the hot seat, probably out of everyone, because Wattenberg's not supposed to be there. Like, our left tackle is the guy that I think is on the biggest hot seat, I guess, game one in the season in its entirety. If you look at it from that point of view, a future look.
Okay. All right. I see your point there. I do see your point there. I think I was looking at it more as like
the first game, game.
The most to prove in general. I mean, Garrett Bowles is a Pro Bowler. He's been to the Pro Bowl. He's done it. Okay. Luke Wattenberg has to prove something. Clayton Heron in the house.
What up, dude? How you doing there?
I love it. Welcome, Clayton. That's good.
From the mountaintops.
Well, no,
he's not fellas.
He's not at the mountaintop. He's just that tall. He's just shouting down at us. So, I mean, you know what? Look. Miss Virginia earlier in the show commented that we won the preseason Super Bowl. Hey, I would love to point out, regardless of whether it's a regular season or a preseason, Broncos are currently 3-0 on the season, and the Chiefs are 0-3. Just saying.
Sorry, not sorry.
I'm just saying. Like we go. Look. What did you say? Look, Jay. Your Harry Potter confession just pissed off Mundungus.
Just wait till you hear my Lord of the Rings opinions then. Ooh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
But no, he's getting laughs from that one. But I get what you're saying, but I think Garrett Bowles has already. I was looking at it as what does he have to prove in total?
Sure.
You know, Garrett Bowles has got to prove something for now. That he's
Understandable.
still got it. But I think Luke Wattenberg, it's like, dude, every time we've seen you up to this point, how dare you?
Dude, I knew I loved you, Adon. You're so right. So boring. Yawn fest.
Dude, I hope a stiff win knocks you over, buddy. I finally made it this summer to for the first time to Universal Studios and literally lived that hashtag Harry Potter life for like 3 days straight.
You're a wizard, Harry.
Hey, shut up. No, it was incredible. I drank butterbeer to my heart's content. I walked out with my own embroidered school robes. I have my own wand. I had fun. It was amazing.
I'm embarrassed for you.
Don't you dare. Anyway.
Hey, Bronco Rob, obviously
Bronco
gotta
Rob.
love him. He was on the
Yeah,
pregame.
he was on the pregame with me. It was a great time. We had a good time.
I went back and rewatched the pregame because I did miss that.
Devin, our
sorry,
resident
take it
Raider fan tells me that I make a good Hagrid. You're a wizard, Harry.
I don't know what that means, but okay, Devin.
It's the beard.
Do you rock
right.
Harry who? Harry Houdini?
Oh, incomplete from Keith Brugman. JC's favorite fantasy sci-fi movie is blank.
Star Trek: The Wrath of Khan.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I bet you didn't know that, huh? See, I'm a Star Trek guy as compared to the Star Wars.
I always knew that you were a Trekkie, but I didn't know that Wrath of Khan was your favorite.
I would say so. Generations or Genesis. Can't remember what that's called. Generations or Genesis, but that's a really good one with the mesh of next gen and the old school. But
nobody but you liked that movie, Jay. Nobody but you liked that movie.
The nerds disagree.
No, the nerds. Most nerds I know hate that movie. Yeah. Anyway, Emma Douglas says that he thinks your favorite fantasy sci-fi movie is White Chicks.
That is pretty sci-fi, although not these days. You just never know.
Oh man, you got Mr. Keith Brugman coming in with some balls tonight. Oh,
he sure does.
Balls.
Ooh, yeah. All right, we do need to get into that because we have kind of touched upon the different, position groups. We've talked about the game.
Sure.
But I do want to talk about the highlights, the people that stood out, the people that deserve some balls. Okay, so we got game balls, and this is going to be drawn from straws, to be quite honest, because
who's got the balls?
Yeah, there's some people that deserve some balls, and then there's some people that, I don't know, maybe don't. But
okay.
Johnny, let's do a
Me?
Really? How many balls you want to give out?
I'd say 1 offense, 1 defense, 1 wild card.
Just the set? Oh, the 3? All right, we can go 3.
3 balls each. I mean, I know that, it must be a family trait. I know that most people generally have 2 balls. You and I always seem to have 3, so it must be a family.
You got a backup.
Yeah, all right, yeah. All right, so am I going first or
you go first? You go first. Defense or offense, it don't matter.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna take my. Oh, this is gonna be painful. Hey, real quick, can you hear me better than you could before?
Absolutely.
Okay, I just realized that I had my mic here on a lower level from earlier, and I just fixed it. So, I'm gonna eat some crow. I'm gonna eat some crow, and this may not be a very popular one. I don't know, but we'll find out. I give my first game ball, my offensive game ball, goes to one Mr. Audric Estime, who must have heard me speaking on the pregame when I said that thus far, based on the hype that we had that we'd heard so far in the in the offseason leading up to the preseason, I had found Audric Estime to be quite underwhelming.
Damn it, Johnny!
I said it, but I meant it. I felt like we'd heard so many things about all these traits that he was going to bust through dudes and truck dudes right, left and right, and I felt like I was seeing him get stopped after 2 yards over and over. And yes, he'd gotten into the end zone. He busted that 1-2 yards for all that. But I felt like based on the hype that I'd heard, I was underwhelmed by it. Well, tonight, especially during that first drive with Jarrett Stidham at the helm, and at some in that second drive, that dude took off, man. He was going through dudes, over dudes, around dudes. He was like, dudes grabbing onto his ankle, and he's kicking him like, get the fuck off me. Like he really, and a touchdown, another touchdown. I absolutely eat my crow for my previous statement, and I hand my offensive game ball to Audric Estime.
Dude, I like that. D-Rock in here with Blake Watson with a game ball on offense. He led the team in rushing. He had quite a bit of opportunity. 11 carries? Him and Tyler Beatty pretty much.
Hang on, I can pull that up real quick. Here we go.
Mundungus with Brandon Johnson. That's a really good one as well.
Blake
Brandon
Watson
Johnson balled out.
11 for 38, or 11 carries for 38 yards. 7 was his longest. So yeah, it was great. Tyler Beatty also did a great job, but I'm simply giving it to Audric Estime because he shut me up.
Yeah. We got a lot of Blake Watsons in the crowd. Mark as well with Blake Watson. But here's my offensive game ball here. And it is the ghost that finally returned to mum his name.
I find that offensive.
Mr. Troy Franklin, welcome to the party, sir. Thanks for joining us. We finally see something out of him. And I was confused as to why we didn't see more targets, more highlights throughout this preseason, thinking that he was going to have a red
for 9 yards.
Whoa. He had a reception for 2 yards.
Yeah, you're right. 1 reception for 21. Okay.
But he got opportunity at least. And Keith agrees with me. Troy Franklin was his offensive game ball. I was just happily surprised to at least see him get involved, get some targets, get something drudged up. Because my God, we can't not only see him not play this year and not play in preseason. We got to have some hope as to why we're clinging on to a roster spot here for this guy. I don't know. I'm happy Troy Franklin got a look, at least.
Sure. It looked good and it felt good. I like that. I like that a lot. It was definitely a good. Let's see. Mundungus said he preferred Tyler Beatty. Tyler Beatty he said he went off tonight, dude.
And he's played well. This whole preseason, he's played well. Every opportunity he's gotten, he's done very well.
Now, granted, this would be an average of about 3.2 yards per carry, but he had 10 carries for 32 yards. That was cool. So that was good of him. I like him. I don't think he makes. With us carrying, I guarantee Estime makes the team, and
for sure
it makes 53. With McLaughlin, you can't. I said it during the pregame. Peter Schrager on Good Morning Football this week named Jaleel McLaughlin in his top 10 to break out as his top 10 breakout players of the season. And there's a reason for that. And so Jaleel McLaughlin definitely makes this team. And of course, Javonte Williams. And then we're carrying a fourth back in the form of Michael Burton at fullback. I don't know if Tyler Beatty or Blake Watson make this team. I hate it. I hate that because they've been great. Especially with Tyler Beatty's, another hometown kid. We love him for it. But
just another shout out for Brandon Johnson out of Adon. Brandon Johnson played very well. He had the
yeah,
big 46 yarder.
yeah,
He plays very dude. He's been around for what seems like ages. He's
yeah.
been
2
a permanent
receptions for
practice
83
squatter.
yards on the game.
Yeah, I love Brandon Johnson. He's gonna be on this team. I feel like I think he's gonna be on the practice squad once again this year. I think he's a staple there. So
Sure.
not surprised. What do you think about defense, Johnny?
Defense. Okay. Well, this one's a little tougher, but I think I'm gonna have to give it. Ooh, this is tough though. This is tough. I thought I knew what I wanted to see. I'm gonna give mine to Thomas Incoom.
What?
Hey, listen. 3 tackles, 3 solo tackles. Okay, 1 tackle for loss. No, wait, I'm looking at the wrong one there. Hold on. I'm pulling it up. Here we go. Yeah, 3 total tackles, all solo. Yeah, with 1 tackle for loss.
Yeah.
He didn't record any sacks, but at the same time, Thomas Incoom is that guy who's got experience on this team. Undrafted free agent who made the team last season, and I think he made a solid. I think he was enough in the quarterback's face tonight to make that argument that hey, I'm still undrafted and I still belong on this team.
No,
I like Incoom, and I think that he's a very valuable rotational rusher for us.
That's an under the radar guy that continues to just kind of chip in as a solid player. Like he's a fringe 53er. I can't remember if I had him on the 53 or not. I think I did. If not, he's going to be a practice squatter. It's not like we're going to outright cut him. He's going to be in the organization.
I think I kind of pissed off Mundungus there when I gave my game ball to Incoom instead of Jordan Jackson. Jordan Jackson, I mean, absolutely, and again, I still have a wild card game ball to give, so we'll see what happens with that. But I give it to Thomas Incoom because as far as everything I saw, he stayed solid, and he is still showing that regardless of his undrafted pedigree, he still belongs on this team, even though, like you said, he flies very, very often under the radar.
He does. But he's good depth as well. But my defensive game ball is going to go to Justin Sternat, who, again, Mundungus mentions, and quite a bit of other people here mention as well. But, I mean, we've been hearing the tales of Justin Sternat for quite some time as a coverage, like, oh, that's the linebacker that's going to cover tight ends. Like, the mystery wild card, coverage linebacker inside. And I've never really seen anything out of him. He's had a lot of injuries and whatnot, but I don't know. I'm glad to finally have a Justin Sternat game to circle. And he did extremely well. That forced fumble. Dave Glassman in the house. What up, dude? Glad to have you here. So I'm that's who I'm giving my game ball to, just because he got a sack, he got a tackle for a loss, the forced turnover. He deserves it.
He had 6 total tackles. 4 of those were solo. 1 was a tackle for loss, and he got a sack. Yeah, he was second in tackles today, only to Tanner McAllister, who that's a name I don't even really recognize.
Yeah.
So, maybe honorable mention to one Tanner McAllister, who had recorded 7 total tackles. Or 6 solo, not bad.
Not too bad. But I always look at defensive backs or safeties of, okay, well, if you're getting so many tackles, doesn't that mean your assignment caught a lot of balls? So I'd rather see that from a defensive tackle or a linebacker, someone like that.
Mundungus wants to have to give an honorary game ball from him to Vance Joseph for kicking ass this entire preseason.
We got depth on the defensive side. I will say. I'm
Not just
a little
not just depth, the defensive scheme that works for us. Finally.
Yeah. No, and you're right. And it looks like they've bought into the system in play because no matter who is slotted in the roles that he has assigned, they've all performed very well. I can't think of one stand-out defensive player that has been awful, just god-awful, get him off the roster. And we can point to some offensive players that have been that way, like Crum, like we mentioned before. But I can't mention that on defense.
Get out of here. Yep. Leave. No, we don't. You are not wanted here.
Not bad. I want to touch upon just real quick, just sidebar. Keith brings up Burton or Atkins. Dude, Atkins had a game. He played very well. Contested in the conversation because he can play fullback. He can play tight end. He caught a couple balls that looked really good today. But at the end of the day, the whole reason why you have someone like that on the roster is for run blocking in a fullback sense, and that's where Burton strives. So I'm still going Burton all day long. Even though, in my heart of hearts, I still wish we could bring back Andy Janovich, the hammerhead. I would love him as a fullback. That is the only Nebraska player I will allow on our team.
Dude would roll up to the facility in a beater 80s red Ford F-150
with a big old
chalk
chalk in his mouth.
Just like spitting all over. I'm like, yeah, that's right.
In a wife beater and just like ready to go, man.
I mean,
what a baller.
So that was great. Okay. We have each have a wild card game ball to give, and then we got to get out of here because we have a fantasy draft coming up.
We do. At the top of the hour here for all involved, and we're going to open this back up next year to as many people want to join as possible. But for fantasy football players, the league does start at the top of the hour for anyone involved in draft orders. So it's already been announced. I got to check that out. But Ty Y, coming for you, bud.
Yeah, no, you're not defending your championship 2 years in a row there.
No way, Jose.
No, I will not allow it, or you're fired. Anyway. All right, Jay, so wild card game balls.
Yep. Do you want me to go first, or do you want to go first?
Yeah, I want you to go first because I want to make sure I know who I'm going to give it to if you steal mine.
So pre-pod, I told you I would have a jaw dropper of a game ball to give out. And I'm going to confidently say for the first time on this network, and maybe even MHRT, I don't know. But for the first time, I'm giving a wild card game ball to an opponent. That's right. Eyebrows up. Mr. Xavier Weaver. Mr. Xavier Weaver, a Colorado Buffalo, played extremely well. He's going to make that team. He has the namesake of myself. He's a Colorado Buffalo. Loved watching him last year with Shedeur. Watches up. That's the wild card game ball. And I think I'm privy to that on the third preseason game when it doesn't matter. And my last game ball I'm giving out. So this is the one and only time you will hear this. An opponent gets a game ball. Xavier Weaver. Let's go. Oh, go Buffs. Let's go.
I'm with you, Sco Buffs, but dude, come on. All right. I get it. I love Xavier Weaver. I love, Mendoza said, I swear I thought he was going to give a game ball to Mathis.
Mathis's ankle. Rest in peace.
No, it's rest in pieces, buddy. Anyway.
Yeah, womp womp.
Anyway, no. So this game ball is going to actually be split.
Ooh,
my last game ball between
so
two guys. I got four. Well, no, I got it's two and then two halves. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm giving one half. I'm giving one half of this game ball, and I'm sticking with the secondary. That's why I'm halving this.
Okay, Mr. better be who I think it is.
Half the ball goes to Mr. Kedron Smith. Okay. The other half of the ball goes to one Lavelle Bailey.
Nice. All right. Good.
All right,
Good.
I am the
Because-
smartest
because
man alive!
As a second, don't split your balls. Ouch, says Keith. I get it, but here's the thing. As a secondary, they showed up today, and these two were the stars of it. Keydron Smith, as you pointed out, Jay, he's every fucking where. He's always where he's around the ball. He's where he needs to be. Multiple turnovers. I mean, for crying out loud, he didn't get an interception today, but he recovered a fumble.
All he does is turn over.
Yeah, he does. It's money. But then, of course, I would be remiss if I did not, give half of that ball to Lavelle Bailey, who, recorded not only 2 tackles solo, but he also caught, that was a clean pick. It wasn't bobbled. It wasn't knocked up into the air and he came down with it. No, he read that route. He jumped that route. He said, "That's my freaking ball."
Oh my God!
And then took it back 96 yards for a touchdown.
Yeah.
So that's why I have to give it to both, because as a secondary, they owned.
And, in actuality, one of those guys was going to be my wild card, but I had to throw out to my namesake. That's understandable.
Mr. Xavier, hey. Just because I don't share the actual last name doesn't mean I'm not a Weaver, and you know that.
This is true.
I am a Weaver. I just happen to carry the last name Baki.
Yep.
Because my mother is the Weaver.
Your mother,
My mother. Your dad is the Weaver. My mother's the Weaver.
Yep.
But anyway, guys, that I think that
That's pretty much it.
Keith says Keydron Smith, Brandon Jones, or Devon Key. Ooh.
Jones and Smith, both.
Yeah, I agree.
Key's out, unfortunately. He's played well. Yep. Practice squad him, see if he stays. I'll take him, but not going to make the 53.
Sorry, Keydron Smith has more than proven that he is worth keeping on this team.
Absolutely.
That would be, and you can't bench Brandon Jones for Devon Key. I'm sorry.
Of course not. He's paid the money. Follow the money.
Money talks. So, Jay, I think we better get out of here, bro. We got 15 minutes. Before,
any last thoughts?
Any last thoughts, dude? It's very simple. We got 2 weeks. We got 1 whole week now where we don't get to have a pregame show, a postgame show, no game action. Oh, I hate it. But, dude, it's here. This is the season begins now.
Yep.
Tomorrow and Tuesday before 5 p.m. Eastern, we will learn who our 53 are, and with that decision, the 2024 season officially begins. Mundungus says the Broncos win 11.
Ooh.
I'd say we win 10. Keith says tough 53-man roster decisions. You know what? We say it's tough, but I'm pretty sure Sean Payton knows exactly what he's going to do already.
In the whole smorgasbord of shows that will go on Tuesday night, as well as Broncos Talk on Wednesday night, we're going to have some great in-depth coverage about what actually happens on cut days coming up here. It's going to be a very interesting week.
Because on both Orange and Blue Network and MHRT Network, there are multiple shows that go live on Tuesday. So there's going to be a lot of content to digest. It's going to be fun. It's going to be great.
Yep. That
being said, please like, subscribe, share, and comment over on Orange and Blue Network if you would. YouTube, X, Facebook. Check us out where you find your audio podcast. Give us that like, that subscribe, that share. Help build the Orange and Blue crew. And then conversely, jump on over to MHRT Network and give us a like, subscribe, share, and comment on YouTube, X, Facebook, Twitch, even Instagram. Come find us there. Let's build the Orange and Blue crew. Let's keep it going, guys. Come on. Help us out. We love you, Broncos Country. Jay, what are your final thoughts?
Man, I'm so excited for the season to start. I'm excited for football season to officially begin for us. Specifically, I know there's already been college football that has been played. Florida State going down. But Thursday night, 7 p.m. Central, ESPN, Colorado Buffaloes. So CTV. So we at least have college football for next weekend. But the NFL, it's coming, baby. I'm so excited. So let's go. And I'm sure we will have future feelings to Buck here on the
many.
Buck Your Feelings
So
podcast.
many.
So,
So many.
For that, Johnny, this is Jay. Thanks for tuning in, and please tune in some more. So we'll see you then. Okay, bye. Go Broncos.